and gentlemen, welcome back. Boy, it is good to be back. AEL Season 1 Reloaded. Joining you today is myself, McCready, and I'm joined by Bianca, or Sigs Before Bed. How are you feeling today, looking at some wonderful Siege on the way up?
Yes, I am so excited to be casting here. It's been a while since I've last casted, so I'm happy to be back and I'm happy to be with you for the first time ever. This will be exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a brand new season, brand new teams, and a brand new cast of duo to bring us into this. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot of teams in here. So many that we've had to split them up into two conferences, not just one, but two. So the first one we've got up on your screens is currently the Commando Conference. You'll notice that they're divided up to four groups at the moment. So these are like classes or little groups in this conference. So you've got Assault, Strike, Special, and Elite. This is where one of our games will be coming from today. That is going to be Outlast Black versus Elite Evil Connections in the Strike group in the top right of your screen. And then if we take a look over towards that second one today, with our second conference, this is the Ranger Conference as well. And we have Scouts, Surveillance, Recon, and Pathfinder. So they're all kind of like classes like you have in terms of like a game classes. And within this game as well, then we've currently got Not Weebs and Moses and the Disciples coming up as our second game in that Pathfinder class. And well, it is looking exciting. A lot of new names I don't recognize here, so that only means one thing, Bianca, and this is really going to get exciting.
Yes, a lot of, I don't think I recognize the majority of these teams, not that I know too many, but I always love seeing teams play for the first time, at least as myself, because I get to see what, teams have in store, what they can, to do to show that they are worth, you know, being on the playing field and being able to
Yeah.
compete for first place.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so exciting. A lot of teams to make themselves known. And today we have the first two teams coming up. Like we said, we've hinted to it is Outlast going up against Evil Connections. And this is a team that, like I said, we don't really recognize the names, so we'll run through them for yourselves at home. So on the side of Outlast, you have Ions, Sense, TXMP or Temp, I believe, Matt, followed by Bronco. And then on Evil Connections to round things out, Artix, Bubba, Von, Ernest, and OP. And I'm sure chat will correct us if we're saying it wrong, so there's no need to worry about that. More important about the team names, because we can see the players, we don't really know too much about them, but we're going to find them out, and there's only one way that we're going to do it, Bianca, and that is by moving on to our map bands, because we got to go somewhere, don't we?
Yes, and let's figure out where we're going. This is my favorite part of the entire stream and the cast, getting to figure out which map we're going to because, it's always exciting. Hopefully, we won't get Oregon because if you know me, you know that oh my God, I get bored of Oregon so easily. But okay, wait, Club is off the board, not too shabby. Oregon is still on the board. No, it's off. Where do you think we're going? Oh wait, you probably know. I think I'm the only
I
one
do.
that's got a little secret. Okay, wait. This is for me. Ah, Bank. Oh my gosh, I actually really like Bank. Oh, yeah, no. Oh my God, I love Bank so much. This is gonna be an exciting game. What's your opinion on Bank?
I really enjoy it. It's a really fun map to go to. I kind of felt a little bit sad when they took it out of that map ban, out of that map kind of roster, but then they brought it back in. I was quite happy to see it because it's a map that relies on a lot of basics. There's a lot of fundamental key things that need to be brought in, a lot of coordination, a lot of crossfires. But still, in the same vein, it's not kind of fully defined like a map like Oregon or Clubhouse, which, to be honest,
Mhm.
are a little bit more boring. You look at the bank and there's still things being worked out and teams still innovating a little bit on that one, and there's still things to be figured out. But we're not really going to waste any time because we're already a little bit behind. So what we are going to do is look at this. Bank. Bianca, why do you like Bank? Because we are going to have to waste a little bit of
I
time. I
want.
know we're yapping a bit, that's all.
No, 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 no. You said it perfectly. Bank, like unlike Oregon, most of the times it's the same reuse strategies. I love casting bank because like you said, the bank strategies, there's still a lot of teams that are, fleshing out their own ideas and doing their own types of way to defend and attack. I remember the last time I casted on bank basement, there's that single wall where that default plant is. Last time I saw somebody put a mirror there and have it popped open, said it would be harder for the thermite to get the wall. I thought that was so smart, and I love that so much. So that's one of the things that I remember very vividly about the last time I casted Bank and why I love it so much because there's just so much innovation to be done on that map still.
Yeah, I mean, a map like Bank, it's one that I always find exciting. I always love going into. And we aren't really going to waste any more time. I know I've already tried to pull your leg with that one. That's all.
That was
As
funny.
we start moving forward, yeah, looking at this, I feel like a map like Bank is one that has a lot of window play, a lot of things that teams need to consider, especially a defensive lineup. They need to be aware of these windows, where
Tempest.
teams could be coming from, and whether it be all the way from that parking garage, all the way by outside square. The coordination is something that really needs to be there, especially on a defensive lineup, just to know what you're expecting and how you want to funnel these attackers coming in. But with our operator bans, we are going to find that Monty taken off the board. You got to think, Bianca, when you think about maybe that long, that stock area, maybe that long area, or especially down in server, that's where a Monty ban is huge, isn't it?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a bug. I think I only really ever see it pushing down to that server area, you're right? As for everything else, I don't think I often see. I'm gonna keep it real. I feel like the Monty ban is a little bit. I mean, I see it banned more often, now than when I first started, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like Monty is a bit I feel like there could have been a better ban at the very least for an attacker, like even a Hibana, like having a Hibana banned or even an
Yeah.
ace. Maybe an ace, but I feel like Hibana would have been a lot better. But regardless, the last ban to get taken off, Miss Valk. Ooh, I don't get to often see Valk get banned. I feel like an Azami would be better here. But maybe I'm just crazy. An Azami or a Mira, but that's my own opinion.
Yeah, just look at this, and the request to not ban that Valkyrie hasn't really gone well. It's fallen on deaf ears. Like you say, though, with the Valkyrie, though, you can look towards maybe that square area on that top floor. That's where you'd expect to see a Valkyrie really come into a lot of impact on the defensive side. Thinking about just any plants coming through on that top floor. Get a Valkyrie camera, get someone down with a C4.
Defenders,
Beautiful.
protect your bombs from
Then,
being
though,
confused by
I mean,
attackers.
I've seen Azami as well. I mean, that server position, if you have an Azami band off of there, and you're trying to play behind those server racks, it's so much more difficult, whereas with the
Attackers have
Azami, you're
located
just
a
making
bomb.
obstacles after obstacles for the attacker to deal with, whereas in this case, that's not really something that can happen now that we move into this first round. We're looking towards this bottom floor, Bianca, and it's one of those that really tends to be a very bloody one, whether it be over towards that server or whether it be down a main stairs elevator push, it always ends up in a lot of gunfights, doesn't it?
Yes, and I
10
mean,
seconds to
I
insertion.
guess that I guess the Mira being off the board doesn't really matter for them. They're not gonna bring a Mira
5
at
seconds
all.
left
I guess
before
they're just
insertion.
gonna
Yeah.
go on without her. But you are right; it does get quite messy down
heading out
here.
to the bomb.
With that though, there isn't gonna be any hard breaches other than the two hard breach gadgets that Matumba is gonna be bringing, and it seems like that hallway hatch is gonna be open in open area. That's interesting.
Yeah, so you can see they're going currently for a roaming situation now. So you see the utils going through, trying to suss out what's going on. Maybe take out some utility, and that is Bronco going to be doing that. Looking around, making sure no one's involved. Okay, well, suddenly they can go for that rush through that main lobby, open that hatch and push in the site. The problem is, these roamers on this middle and top floor are going to be able to adapt to that. They will adjust, and if they need to collapse on the site, that's where that hatch is able to pick this up.
Oh my
Ions will
gosh.
move towards that garage, and we'll get that first pick, but Temp's going to go down as well.
Oh no, already a 4v4. It seems like Outlast Black seems to be pushing quite strong and fast. They just came in extremely fast, wasting absolutely no time. Just about 2 minutes left on the board. Bronco's gonna get taken down by the stinky little parts of a smoke canister. And a C4 here just gets pulled, but it doesn't matter. Damn, Operator's gonna take down Mr. Matumba, a 2v4, and it's gonna be the fate of the boys on Evil Connections. Just under 2 minutes remaining. It's up to Ions and Sense to close out this round and hopefully win it for their team.
Make my soul shredders.
Yeah, Ions having a massive impact here over towards Garage, able to cut off any rotations, not aware of the Asami in red, gonna walk towards him, gets the kill. Looks for a second though, it isn't able to make it happen. Time to get down halfway off the clock now, Bianca.
Yup, and as we're speaking, Ions is gonna get a triple, those 2 kills. Oh my gosh, that red hall swing was absolutely crucial. They do not have bomb right now. There is gonna be somebody in vault. They are gonna be watching that diffuser very carefully. Both Mr. Operator and Bronix, I hope I'm saying that okay, are gonna be defending it as he takes down Ions, a 1v2. It's up to Sense to clutch it out if he wants to win this first round. What a great and intense round already, the first one, and it seems like time is starting to dwindle out. Sense still has about a minute on the board. He's got kind of a lot of time to figure out who he wants to push. I guess it's just about winning your ones. Try not to get sandwiched out. It doesn't feel like anybody's going to be as close left, but he's got to be careful for that right. He's going to grab this bomb and hopefully not get swung out too. Oh my god! Like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just overreacted like crazy, but that was absolutely beautiful. The Warden, a sitting duck in that corner. Absolutely no match for the boy Sens. Now it's just up to Operator. They're both at about equal HP. And if I was either of these boys, I'd be absolutely scared. I'm sure their hearts are pumping right now. 20 seconds. Sens has either got to get the kill or get this bomb down. Operator is going to be smoked, though. He's a pretty good operator for this. But I'm not sure if he's used all of his smoke canisters yet. He's about to get swung out, and Sens will win the first round. They were at a 2v4 two-man deficit, but Ion's evening it out. Sens to finish out that 1v2, and Outlast Black do amazing that first round. That flick was monumental.
Yeah, very, very good defense coming out from Evil Connections, though. They lost a couple of plays very early on, but they were able to rotate back down and start to just realize that, okay, but that room wasn't really working out. That's what I meant. They were able to get back down onto that site and back everybody up as well. We are going to be jumping to a rehost very quickly so we can talk a little bit about what we saw. I mean, that's one round, so for the side of Outlast, you kind of look at it and say, well, it didn't go our way, but we can start looking forward. We can move forward on this one, say, look towards that top floor, see what we could do there, because in that last one, I mean, there was really good things happening there. We saw that opening pick come through. There was good pressure over towards Garage. There was flank cameras being set up. And, like, they were holding these angles. They were making it so the defenders didn't have that freedom of movement that they needed. Eventually, though, that did crumble, and that's what we saw. The defenders were in vault. They had the diffuser. And suddenly, then the gridlock had to rotate all the way around. It gave operations that opportunity to just rotate off that position and play later to work that time down. In doing so, well, there you go. That's what happens. The plant has to go down. They decided to come off it and take the gunfight. No matter what happened then, you know, that smoke doesn't really lose that fight. The time is just horrible on that.
Well, Outlast did great despite having that two-man deficit. Like I said, Ion swinging that red corridor was absolutely amazing. Great play from him. He nearly got a collateral, taking down two at once, but I believe he just took down that Azami regardless. I think that swing coming out to kill that Warden in Vault, not even that swing, that flick, man, I feel like that smoke was a little bit late. I feel like if they, if the Warden knew that he was going to get swung, the smoke could have definitely been prepared to just basically get the cross on it as the gridlock had to basically, walk into, overstep to basically swing out the Warden and pick up that diffuser. Unfortunately, it was just, the timing was a little bit off. And yeah, the time went down and it was, either they got the kill or they got the bomb down. And Outlast Black got that bomb down and they won it out. Wait, before we go back though, McCready, you got any prediction on who's gonna win? You have any idea, or like you might be voting for any team
I
to win, either Outlast Black or
um
what was it, Evil Connections? Yeah.
yeah, I don't really want to say because at this one with Evil Connections Academy, there was a strong start, and yes, they won out that round, but then either way, not Outlast and
No,
Evil
Outlast
Connections
Black
both
won the
did it well. It
round.
was very, very close. I mean, Outlast Black won the round. All right, sorry, but with
Yeah.
that though, they still played very well. There was good connections on that one. Actually, no, it was Evil that won that round. And
No,
with this
Outlast
though, both
Black.
teams, yeah, both
Yeah, you
teams
keep
played
on
very
saying
well. It was
Evil.
back and forth. They were able to win out. Yeah, right, okay. But yeah, both teams have played that very well. And moving forward, I'm not really convinced of what way it can go. Like it's toe for toe for me.
Okay, I can see that. The only reason why I personally want Outlast Black to win because I actually have seen the team play many times before. I think they're great. I think sometimes they just fall short of winning certain games. But I also am excited to see how Evil Connections play. I've never heard of the team at all. I feel like it would be different maybe if I had heard a little bit of them, but I haven't heard of that team at all, so I'm going to be interested to see. I guess it is quite early, and from your point of view, not being able to ever see these teams perform, it's kind of a little bit hard to tell, at least for you. But I'm hoping Outlast Black wins, but I do want to see Evil Connections put up an amazing fight. That last round was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it came down so close. I feel like the reason I kept getting confused is because of how close it came down. That was
Yes.
single digit time, low HP on both sides. Like one smoke canister could really have changed that entire round.
Hmm.
Exactly, and that's really what was it for me. I mean, it was just that it was so back and forth in that situation that you couldn't really pick what team was going to win that one.
Hmm.
We do seem to be waiting a little bit just to get in, but we are nearly there. I do promise on this one. moving forward, we've got to look towards that top floor, and this is one that I find a lot of teams they would
No, they
look
could
to
go
bring the
back down
mirror.
though.
Oh, they could go back down, but I'd probably expect them to go top. And
I
if they
feel like
can bring
because
that
they
mirror,
had the
like I
man
said,
advantage,
yeah,
they might have. I don't know. I was thinking. I was like, they might go back down just because it was a 4v2. They just ended up like getting
yeah,
unlucky, honestly. But anyways, I
yeah,
digress.
because
I'm
it
so
was
sorry
close.
for
I might say they
interrupting.
might try. No, it's fine. There's arguments both ways. I mean, if they go back down, they'll probably try something similar, just being a little bit more conservative with it, or just a little bit more ready for what was going to come. But if they go to that top one, here's what I kind of want to see. You know, that mirror window coming out there, having the drawn back defense looking towards that site, towards the square. Maybe seeing that Solace come through because they don't have that band at the moment. That's something that they can bring through. So that's
That's
something
true.
I'm looking forward to seeing. It could go anywhere. I'm really, really. I don't know what to say. Like, there's very little that I can kind of work out so far from one round, other than it's close and I can't make a prediction. That's useful analysis, I know, but
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, if they do go
yeah,
upstairs, you're absolutely right with the Solus. I didn't even realize Solus is on the board. And I feel like when Solus is usually on the board, a lot of teams will utilize it. They are utilizing the Azami. I was gonna say, I mean, maybe that's why Azami wasn't banned. Maybe because they have Azami a part of their strategy. They want to use
yeah.
Azami, and I guess they also didn't ban Mira because there's no point. If they're not gonna play Mira, I guess it doesn't matter too badly for them because and I guess I don't know. Does Mira usually get played above? I'm only asking this because I don't think I've ever seen it get played on the top floor. What do you think? Maybe it's
Um,
popular on PC.
a mirror being played on the top floor. Yeah, I've seen it. Of course, seen it quite a few times where you have teams.
Really?
They'll play over towards that trump area, and they'll have a mirror window set up there. So as soon as the breach gets open, they've got headshot lines aside all the way towards that
Mm.
breach, and they're able to contest it. It's something that it works more with a lot more passive style of play. But if you do see people go towards the main lobby, that's when people tend to lose that quite quickly because the attackers are designed to take that contact, and the mirror window just isn't ready on that one. But realistically, we just seem to be taking a little bit of time, so I believe we might be chucking to a small break. I'll just get that confirmed for you in a minute. We're going to chuck for a small break, and we'll be back as soon as that game goes live because I'm sure you've had enough of us yapping at the moment. We'll get back into that soon, so don't go anywhere.
Bye, guys, for now.
All right, you better say it.
Oh, and that was an extremely short break, about maybe 20 seconds. Y'all could not get enough of us. Everybody was just like, oh my God, guys, get them back. So we are back, of course, in absolutely no time. You couldn't miss my beautiful face and Mr. McCready's beautiful, handsome face. I guess we are going to be getting ready for round two. Woo! After that exciting first round, we get to go back. And I'm wondering which site they're going to choose. Are they going to go back downstairs? Because, they did have the advantage at one point. Or are they going to just wrap it all up and bring us to the top floor? Let's find out.
Well, yeah, there's only one way we're going to find out now is by getting into the game. We're not going to be there just yet. We will be jumping in right now. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
one of those where I really feel like the impact of a break might actually catch us off guard here because that is a close round for both teams on that one. Outlast Black, like you said, we were able to pick it up in the end. But what happened really is they've just taken a round that was very, very close. And now there's a break. Outlast Black, they're going back into this a round up. They might as well reset the mental and say, well, we're going in a round up already. Let's just be smart about this. We don't have to give them anything. As long as we play it carefully, we play it precisely, coordinate and refrag, we should be alright. There shouldn't be any issues whatsoever. We are going to be heading to that top floor. That mirror will be brought out. The question is, how are they going to use it? They're going to use those head holds over towards that square area. So what they can do is, if you see Bubba, they're going to be playing more towards the backside of site, they're going to be using those mirror windows to look over towards that ivy door, over towards that top square if they can, and just try and shut down the attackers from getting to this breach. The big thing about this, though, like we said, is that front office area is going to be very, very susceptible to an attack. A big thing about the castle backing this up is it's one of those things that's going to counter it. Having that castle on the board means that you can just shut these off, so the only angles available are the ones you want them to keep. They've got the meeting room set up as well with these mirror windows, so they're going to be able to look all the way from those main stairs to stop, to janitor, all the way to that square side. Just realistically putting so much pressure on the attackers that they don't know where to look. They don't know where they're going to get peeked from. And then suddenly, as soon as you do go for the peek, they're not looking at you. And that Solace is getting brought out as well.
I'm just looking at this. Akali seems like a bit of an interesting pick. I'm not really too familiar with Kali being used at all. I feel like the only time it's used maybe is, you know, when there's like, you know, heavy wall denial or something along the lines of that, but there honestly isn't any wall denial at all, not even, you know, a simple mute, so I'm not sure. Maybe this guy's just an absolute sniping god. I know Ions is absolutely great in the game. I see this guy play all the time. He's amazing, so I'm sure he can do something amazing with that Kali. Maybe he's going to be on some window repels, just sniping out some ops. As I'm saying that, though, Vronx, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm going to just say Vronx is going to get tagged up. The Cheeky's be down on the bottom floor as he's going to be Solus, scoping out for any ops, and somebody's going to be approaching him cheekily by the front door. He better be careful. Bazinga by these white stairs. I like that name. And Matumba is going to take down Vronx. Making it a 5v4. Just about a minute 45 remaining in the round.
Yeah, and like you say, that early pick is coming through. That Solace taken off the board means that exactly what we were talking about earlier. That Solace can be used later when that plant is going down. Temp will have an answer as well. We'll take down Ernest. And suddenly that Azami, those barricades getting taken over right now. After round ticking off the clock and the attackers are starting to make pressure over towards the stock side, this means that they're going to be running into that mirror window very, very quickly if needing. That's something the drone has picked up very quickly. Also, in this area, they're very susceptible to these C4s, so we can come from down below. Man, however, is going to be able to find a kill, and as Temp looks to contest that stock player, Bazinga is going to be looking towards the main stairs. Operator finds Ions. Now 4 versus 2 with a minute left being upheld.
Yes, a 4v2, and it's not looking too good for Evil Connections. Maybe going downstairs and just, you know, figuring out kind of a better way to hold that down would have been the better plan, because although last round it was a 2v4 in their favor, now it's going to be a 4v2, and it's going to be at their, not at their discretion, at their deficit. It's not going to be too good. But, I mean, hey, look, we saw Outlast Black win off the last round with the deficit, so maybe the boys on Evil Connections can, and it turns into a 3v2 as Bazinga's going to take down Temp. A 3v2, a C4. Is it going to get thrown? Did it even get thrown? I can't even tell. And as Diffuser is taking down Operator and Bazinga are going to have to do what they can. Bazinga going to take down Matumba, a 2v2 now. This is looking extremely familiar. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu, just like this happened last round. Maybe they're going to try and long arm this. Absolutely no way they can do that. Is that even possible? Sans is going to take down Bazinga, though, and going to take down Operator along with him. A 2v2 turns to a 1v2, and Sans clean those last 2 kills up. Getting the boys on Outlast Black a very definitive win, as that Diffuser was down, and they ended up getting everybody 2-0 to them. Well done, Outlast Black.
Looking at that round, very, very well played from the end. I mean, the defense had a really, really good setup. I mean, we looked towards those head holes. That's where those castle came in. That was what they wanted, was those long angles, those long lines of sight. It worked against them, though, because in those situations, the attackers had enough bodies and enough pressure over towards the stock side that they could push into sight, get the plant behind bookshelf. The C4 wouldn't have reached if they did throw it on the side of Miro, so that's why Bazinga didn't. But in that situation as well, the time just ticked down a little bit too much. They weren't reading into it that the plant was going down quick enough to realize that, okay, the planting just gets off, jumps out that window. At that point, that is the round done. There is a player over towards that top square. There is a player standing around about that janitor area, and a player outside. All of those players can fall as long as that window player is still alive. That round is over. It'll take too much time, too much clearance to get that. It's one that Evil Connections really would have struggled to make happen, and if they were able to do it, they really deserve to get that round win. That's not going to happen, though, and right now we are going to see them return to this bottom floor site. That Azami will get brought out, I think that's what we mentioned before, but this time with their roam, I do expect them to use it over towards that open area, that kitchen, just to kind of solidify this roaming game if they are going to commit to it like they did last time. And there you can see a couple of the zombie barricades around just to make sure Ernest's life isn't wasted very, very quickly. They can use it just to play and be a little bit more careful, but the drones will start to come through. The players over towards the elevator, the stairs will look to support. Sensor is able to find that opening kill though. That's the warden taking off the board as well. The drone does come through from the square though.
Gosh, that's a lot of bodies off the board, and it's not even a minute into the round. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Outlast Black, you know, they seem to be quite aggressive and going through fast. Maybe this round they're deciding to taking it slow, but absolutely not. Luckily, I didn't say that because it would be absolutely wrong. Matumba's gonna get taken up a little bit by that Vector, but it's not gonna fully kill him. Arctics. Oh my god, I love that loyalty skin. So beautiful. My favorite skin in the entire game. But anyways, I digress as he tries to swing on Matumba. Matumba says, that commando is gonna do all the talking. And now Mr. Operator Smoke is gonna have to 1v5 if he even wants to win this round out. This poor man. Never is gonna get a double kill though. Taking down Bronco and Matumba. Off with the smoke. That is going to be diffuser control as well. And as somebody is peering at the bottom of his marble stairs, actually going to be two people. One comes out for the swing. And can you believe it? A 1v5 to a 1v2. Operator, watch out for your bottom marble. This poor boy. That would have been absolutely amazing had he won that out. Ions will get that final kill. I thought he realized that there was somebody at the bottom of those marble stairs, but he didn't realize that there was two. Somebody had just walked up. Oh my gosh, what an amazing round. And with that, we are going to get a timeout. I'm going to be assuming it's going to be from obviously the boys on Evil Connections, as that's going to be 3 rounds in a row that they've lost.
Yeah, that's 3 rounds. Like you say, these are close rounds. These are rounds where at the very start, they're really looking good. There's real opportunities there for them. But Outlast Black, they are just coming into the mid part of these rounds and really starting to step up. The aggression is there. They're taking control of the site, realizing that, say, okay, Operator sat on main stairs or marble stairs. We're going to push onto that site. We're then going to take these gunfights 2-on-1 and just really shut them down. I mean, the Deimos scan isn't coming out on Operator. He was going for the nade. That's an interesting one because Deimos, really great support operator, can bring in that tracking feature, but still, really, really good roaming very early on, able to pick off these players. And yes, there were some refrags, but as we do start this game up again, I mean, it's all coming up Outlast Black at the moment. Evil Connections are not out of it yet, but they really, on the defense, need to make something happen soon. Otherwise, it might slip away from them.
Well, I was actually told this. I bring this up every single time, especially when a timeout gets called. There was a statistic that I believe Whiskey Glitter had told me once. He told me, he said that the team that takes the timeout, 70% of the time, they will win the next round after that. So Evil Connections has called this timeout, I would assume. So obviously, trying to slow down Outlast Black's momentum and, you know, trying to reevaluate what their plan is for defending these next 3 rounds to come. And hopefully with this timeout, they've kind of given it a lot of thought and, you know, been able to slow down Outlast Black enough so that they're able to win out a round. I would hate to see a blowout. Outlast Black is an amazing team, but I want to see more from Evil Connections. That first round was very, very, very promising. It just, you know, so happens that they kind of got unlucky with that. And I hope that we'll be able to see a couple more rounds coming out from them because, like you said, they're not out just yet. But they've got to lock in at some point. We can't be leaving split at 5-1.
Yeah, not at all. Not on the defense. That just does not happen. My big thing right now, I'm looking at Bubba Zinger. If Bubba Zinger is able to play down below, able to stay alive until that late round, that's when we're actually going to see things start to pop off. That's when we're actually going to see something able to happen. I mean, they could go up to that top floor, start shooting down below, but we saw it on that bottom floor the second time we went there. Bubba Zinger, the top floor, sorry, when we went there. Bubba Zinger gets taken down, and then that shuts down any chance to stop him. Matt will be taken off the board. The IQ, the one real counter to this operator, is taken away as well. But the verticality is coming in for the attackers. They do have a lot of potential. They do have a lot of time to get to work because they've still got 2 minutes left on the clock. And nothing really coming out from Evil Connections aside from that kill on IQ.
Yeah, it seems like this round they've got at least an advantage for a little while. The one-man advantage, maybe going open area, was the key to success for them. We will find out as the round progresses more and more and more. Tampon making his way, or Temp making his way over into Archives. I believe there was a Solus kind of being cheeky around here, or at least in the round right beside him. Oh my gosh, she's right by Bazinga's right by that wall. Imagine if they had a drone on Bazinga, that would be absolutely fatal for him. Luckily for Bazinga, they don't. Temp and him just a wall away. It's not even a meter. Maybe that's, I'm not even sure how thick that is, but damn, threats are coming and going. Bazinga will take down one, but Sens will take down, oh my god, my voice just cracked. Will take down one, making it a 3v4 in favor of the boys on Evil Connections again. Like I said, they do have this advantage, and hopefully they can keep it and win out this round for as long as they possibly can as we start to approach a minute remaining.
Yeah, looking over towards the square area, this Archive side, this is going to be key because they can watch this rotate over towards Sense. They can see if that drop comes through into the mini office. They are able to deal with the pressure over towards square. If that Archive falls, this round falls as well. But, like you say, they're still playing down. But they have to watch that site as well. Bronco will start moving forward. Aware that they have a lot of utility, they still have those Candelas in pocket. And if they need to, they can really make this last 30 seconds absolute hell for the defense.
Absolutely right. And like you said, this last half a minute starts to take. Sens will take down Bazinga. Wow, it seems like Sens is absolutely on fire. 6-0 right now. Get this man off the heater. Oh my god, it's sizzling hot. With that, he equalizes out the score, and just about 10 seconds remain. They're trying to open up walls, and you will stop a little bit. And as you're saying, the Ying might just be a pivotal player. Bronco, Sens will take down yet another. Oh my god, Ions. And wow, it seems like Outlast Black is just the team that is absolutely ready, even when they're at a man disadvantage. They're ready and able to come back swiftly and gracefully, winning out that fourth round. It was in favor of Evil Connections, but unfortunately Outlast Black just seemed to be outplaying them. That Ying was absolutely detrimental. It started blinding those defenders, and with that 4-0, it doesn't seem like any sight is working for Evil Connections.
Yeah, I look at that it's the same story each time. The round's going really well for them. They're going even Stevens. I mean, Bubba Zenga, I said I needed to see something great for them to really step up that round. They started to deliver. They were providing. Just the rest of the team weren't really there to kind of back them up. And when the team did try, they were being picked off. And these Sens over on that top floor still yet to die in this game, aside from that first round. Since the video's not dying at all, that's still quite impressive. There's been 4 rounds since then. Now moving into this, we're going back to that top floor, and we're losing that Sense off the board. I feel like the Sense, the Solace was such a key part of that round that they lost. If they still had it on the board, they could have won it. They're neglecting to bring it this time. They're opting for that clash, probably to get a little bit closer in a much more different kind of way. I don't want to see them playing over towards this janitor side, this janitor hallway area. Because if we see that, that's where we're going to see a really quick pitch coming out from the attackers. I'm worried because I do imagine that's what they're going to do, but I don't want them to. Still, though, we'll find out how that works. In regards to the rest of the attacking side, again, Bronco going on the Samurai. I expect he's going to try and get in, take some very, very early pressure over towards that square side, try and clear it out, or at least go up to that rooftop and try and get an early pick from Skylight. Right now, though, Artix is going to be a key issue for them, as they do just slow everything down. They are that massive presence. It's like a Monty on the defense, but it slows you down and is able to do that passive damage over time. The drones will come through from the attackers as they look towards this top floor site to see what they can do, B.
Yes, and I'm looking at Ions. Last time we attacked up here, he went Kali. This time he's opting for a Ying. Ying being on the board, I honestly see Ying banned an extremely high amount of times. So I'm actually, like I said, I was surprised when they banned Monty instead of a Ying, but anyways, I digress. Moving from that, Ying was quite pivotal last round, especially those last seconds, and it seems like they might just rush in here. Oh my god, the Azami into the janitor closet as he EBNO's Bazinga. Uranus is going to take him down a 4v, technically a 4v5, but the diffuser is going to start getting planted, and that was quite fast. Unfortunately, a C4 from the bottom is going to miss. Matumba to take down 2. Bronx is going to take down Senzo. That is a big player on the team. The diffuser still is going on. Who's outside right now? Hold on. Who is by the main lobby? Oh my god, it is literally hell in a handbasket. And we got Bronx over here by the front. What is going on? Ions to clean up those last 2 kills. I'm not even sure where this bandit was that game, but he was the wrong place at the definitely wrong time. And that's going to leave the boys on Outlast Black with a 5-0 lead. Oh my gosh. Are we witnessing a blowout?
We might just be. I mean, that was the round that Outlast Black were looking the strongest at that point because, simply put, taking that aggression, using that ammo, getting up that hatch, Evil Connections, I'm not really sure what happened on that one, purely because they turned around, they started to get the revive, and as soon as they got shot in the back, then they turned around and faced them without that shield on. They didn't give themselves enough time to put it on, and so they were just taken off the board. That janitor whole area got taken down, and suddenly it was just all down to one player sat by himself in that banana area, in those banana windows. At that point, then, that round's pretty much done. Like you say, someone else had jumped out. I've got to say, the execute from Outlast Black, the utility usage with his Yin Candelas, with the Amory shotgun, was able to just open things up. Yes, there were refrags coming out from the side of Evil Connections, but I feel like just some of this micro decision making just wasn't there when it needed to be. For example, 2 players trying to revive 1 player when the Clash could have watched that janitor door, stop someone from pushing in. Maybe looking towards that and the jump out. That's not something I want to see, but we're going to move on forward. It's the first Playday, first game of the season, Bianca. So we're going to move forward. We're going to move on back down to where this all began on that bottom floor. We're going to see what this does. Closest round we've seen coming out of Evil Connections so far. The question is, are they able to do it again? A very strong blue setup coming out here. Pretty much all those Jaeger ADSs, I believe 2 of them, sat up there. The Fenrir mines as well, to make sure that if you're playing bottom blue, you can escape or take the gunfight at that advantage. It's up to you. But a very fast entry coming in from the attackers. Looking like a vault drop is what we're going to see.
And they have a Tubarão. I'm concerned where the Tubarão is meant to go, because I feel like that would have been used to kind of slow down that hatch drops. But regardless, a 1 for 1, an eye for an eye. And as I'm speaking, Temp is going to take down Bazinga. A 4v3 turns to a 3v3. Again, another kill for a kill. Another one comes out. Ions is just an absolute machine. Him and Sense seems to be going absolutely crazy. For Bronx, but never mind, not for Bronx. Let me repeat. For Sens as he gets taken down. A C4 started to run. Oh my god, and nearly runs into his own C4. Ions left in a 1v2. And I mean, damn, if anybody can clutch us out, I'm sure Ions can. He's an amazing player. 6-1, and there's still a minute and a half remaining in the round. Bronx and Arctics, they have quite a bit of time. Not only that, but it is going to be the smoke and the 2-1. That's really good to slow down the defender. I mean, not the defender. The attacker, the 2-1 can slow him down. I guess, you know, just throwing out his little ice, but oh my gosh, no slowing down even needed. That MPX is going to hit him right in the head, and unfortunately, I think my prediction was right when I said I don't want to see this go 5-1, and now we're 5-1 after split.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that Evil Connections got one at the very least.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a round at the very least, like you say, and in doing so, I mean, I just got to say, I feel like I might be too little too late in that regards, but they are going on to the attack now. That is the more difficult side, but on a map like Bank, it's something that you can still come back on. The big problem is, though, this momentum's going to be there. They've got to bring out a pretty spectacular attacking half if they want to keep in it, because Outlast Black are 1 round away from OT, from match point at least, and that at least guarantees that OT, meaning Evil Connections would have to play a perfect game of Rainbow Six Siege just to get us to OT, Bianca, and that is such a big ask, especially with the form we've been seeing from these 2 teams. I believe it could happen, as long as Evil Connections are able to just tie up these loose ends in the round at the moment. Outlast Black, though, they just need to play it strong. Look at what they're doing. Bottom floor, we win that. We go to top floor, we win that as well. That's all she wrote. Question is, though, what are Evil Connections going to do about it? I want to see I want to see them prepared for a bit of aggression. I don't feel like Outlast Black want to give them any advantage, so they're going to try and get that advantage early. Try and get a couple of early picks on their own, and maybe deal with it. You see, again, another blue setup. This time with Goyo canisters rather than shields, and that is... Whew, that is something.
Yeah, Goyo's not too uncommon. It's I feel like I see it played a lot, and honestly, I used to hate Goyo, but now I can kind of see, I can see the reasons for the Goyo. That flame is gonna take down that Twitch drone as well. Maybe Bank, maybe it's just the defense on Bank that really messes up the operators. Maybe just the attack is so strong, and hopefully Evil Connections, after winning that, you know, that last round, they can come back and they can, you know, win this next one out, take a couple more rounds, and you know, hopefully close this gap just a tad bit more. But anyways, it seems like Evil Connections are a lot slower. Actually, okay, never mind. Somebody seems to be going right down marble stairs. I was going to say they seem to be a little bit slower compared to Outlast Black when it comes to attacking, because I feel like at this point Outlast Black would have definitely been in there like swimwear, or at least the majority of the team would. But anyways, moving forward, Hibana's going to start opening up these hatches and making a little bit of noise.
Yeah, using the arena gates to try and get that utility off the board, meaning there's only one flashbang in the pocket of Hibana on this one, meaning that as these hatches open up, the execute onto site is going to be a lot more difficult for the attacking side. Something that we saw Outlast Black being able to use to great effect with those Hibana pellets. Now, sense is crucial on this one. We're looking towards those hatches, stopping these sight lines being opened up for as long as possible, because every second counts. You're halfway through this round now, Bianca, but this hatch is going to get opened up. It is only a matter of time as that last Tubero canister will go through, and the rest of the attackers will start to look at moving forward. Ernest over towards that vault's elevator side will be coming up into Bronco, and Bronco sat, I believe, with that DMR is very much the one to take this gunfight. The question is it going to be in their favor? A minute ticks down, the attackers poised and ready for their positions. And now they look ready to execute over to this site.
Not a single smoke canister has been used yet. Oh shoot, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I was gonna say, not a single smoke canister has been used yet, so this can be so crucial. Oh my god, I guess I'll take it from here a 4v3 turns to a 4v2. And with that Outlast Black, with the man advantage, unfortunately, Bazinga and Operator are going to have to take a down. Well, never mind. It's going to have to, unfortunately, be Operator to take down 4 ops if he wants to win this round out. And no, the first round is split. Will be won by Outlast Black as Matumba finishes off that final kill.
I'll give Evil Connections credit. They positioned really well. They had everything kind of set up that they needed. The pieces were all in place. They had all the ingredients to make a cake, and I feel like this goes for the whole game. They've had all the raw ingredients, but they just weren't able to put it together. They weren't able to cook it and bake that beautiful cake that you're looking at, which would result in a round win. Because in that round, I feel like they gave Outlast Black a little bit too much time to prepare, too much time to adjust. And that massively was as well the thing with the Tubero, because the Tubero slowed things down. The attackers didn't want to move until every piece was perfect. And because of that, then they just wasted that little bit of time. They wasted that initiative, and they went into the waiting arms of the Vectors, the DMRs. The players are ready to just shut them down. That's exactly what we saw. A very well played round from Outlast Black. And now that does move them onto that match point. And in this best of one, this match point means they'll go into this group stage with 1 win under their belt so far. Evil Collections, they have a bit of a mountain to climb here. The question is, Bianca, did they bring their hiking shoes?
Well, it doesn't seem like it, considering it's 6-1. But, anyways, it seems like the boys on Outlast Black are going to be bringing a, quite a similar strategy like the boys on Evil Connections did. Hopefully, this will bear some fruit for Evil Connections, and they will win this round out, just like how Outlast Black beat them when they went up here. But who knows? I feel like the worst thing for Evil Connections is time. I feel like once time really starts to crunch down, they seem to just... I don't know, they seem to just lose numbers and just they're unable to get back from it. They're, the early games are kind of fine. It seems like it's all equaled out. Sometimes they even have a slight advantage, but as time starts running thinner and thinner and thinner, it just doesn't seem like they're able to hold on, and they just, they end up just cracking under pressure. With that, though, it seems like maybe pushing in a couple from Square or this stock side. And we will see what the boys on Evil Connections will do. Hopefully they can, like I said, win this round out. Looking at 6-2. Because, of course, if Outlast Black wins this, that's it. They win it all, and the game is done. No more.
No pressure at all. Now, what I really like to see is that main breach does have a full run-out potential. So that rotation is a full rotation, meaning somebody could swing onto that square area. Right now, though, it looks like the player overlord stock, which was, I believe, Temp, has had to pull back purely because Evil Connections need to take control of it. If they take control of it, they can't get peeked out when they go square. Sense, though, will find the C4 and takes that Twitch off the board. And taking the Twitch off the board at this point, but the utility that they have is massive. Those mirror windows stay unaffected. Those Fenrir gadgets will stay unaffected. And they will last longer into the ever so precious seconds of that round. Ions will get taken down, though, by Bazinga. And it looks like Eunice is looking to push forward as well.
Temp might be in a cheeky little spot. Like you said, Ernest does know that he's there. He is going to get droned out. And that little janitor's office, or that janitor's closet, is going to be a bit of a no-man's zone. Sends with a little bit of a flank is going to take down Uranus, and that's going to save Mr. Temp just a little bit now. A little bit of weight is taken off of his shoulders as we are approaching 45 seconds. Bazinga's going to start making his way up the spiral stairs through. Banana is going to see the head of Mr. Bronco, taking him down. Matamba to take down Arctic, so it's going to be a 3v2 in favor of the boys on Outlast Black. Watching these marble stairs, Temp will take down Mr. Operators up to Bazinga in a 1v3 with not even 30 seconds remaining on the board, not even a diffuser in hand. Fenrir is going to go off, smoking his vision, and unfortunately it's not looking too good for him. Matumba will finish off that round, and unfortunately the boys on Evil Connections will lose that one out. Senses hi Bianca, and Matumba saying close one. I wish it was a bit of a closer one. Hello guys, everybody in chat, and congratulations to Outlast Black for winning the first game of AEL.
Season 1 reloaded, and what a way to start things off. A very, very strong game from them, like you say. Very dominant as well, that 7-1. And I gotta be honest, I mean, in the side of Evil Connections, like you're gonna feel down on it. You've just started with a loss, but you gotta look at the benefits. I mean, that scoreline really didn't represent what we saw in the game. I mean, it was a close game. A lot of these rounds did come down to the wire and just key crucial moments that just Outlast were a little bit more put together for to try and take advantage of. This definitely isn't a setup for how the entire season's going to go, so keep your head up. I mean, look at it. There's positives there to learn from. Just maybe focus on micro timing, micro decisions, what you're meant to do in these high-pressure situations. And then I really expect to see a lot more benefits moving forward. Right now, though, that is 7-1. Both teams playing very well, but just Outlast Black having just that little bit extra of what it takes to be able to take out that first game, Bianca. And we do have another one lined up for yourselves, but we are going to be taking a short break before we do get into it. So make sure that you get a drink, get something to relax, but make sure you are here very, very soon. We'll be right back.
Woo! Welcome back, guys, to the first day of AEL and the second game of tonight. I am, of course, Bianca. If you're new here, yes, me, of course, beautiful Bianca. If you're not new here, of course, you know me. And if you're new here, this is Mr. McCready, the one and only, the Mr. Handsome. And if you're not new here, then obviously you already know that he's handsome and he's awesome. We're here to cast game 2 tonight, and I am excited. We're doing Not Weebs versus the Disciples. Moses and the Disciples. That's what it was. Oops, I nearly forgot that.
Yeah.
Let me stop. Seems like we're going to be taking a look at the rosters. Oh my god, he has risen. That's an interesting photo. I like
I,
that.
I'm getting too old for this, honestly. I don't understand it anymore. But yeah, let's focus on what I do know. Let's talk about the game. So we saw 7-1 very quickly, but now, like we said, that's the past. Moving over towards this Ranger conference, we have Not Weebs. We're Not Weebs going up against Moses and the Disciples. On the side of Not Weebs, we've got Buster, Dan, Kakura, Demuno, and John Crafter. Following on the Disciples and Moses is Arundel, Moses, Gurv, Mod, and Slate. Names again, I don't really recognize, but that means they've only got good things to prove. I'm going in with no kind of prejudices. I'm looking at these players. I reckon all of them are going to be able to pop off. The question is, will that happen? Well, Bianca, again, we've already gone it through it once, but we need to go through these map GANs again. Hopefully, we're not going back to bank. We get a little bit of variety on this one, don't we?
Yes, no, they told me that we were not going to go back bank. They said it might be similar. Oh, wait. Consulate's banned. So where are we truly going? Let's hope that there's an Oregon off the board. I'm going to guess border. No, border's banned. Okay, wait. Oh, no. No, Oregon's off. Wait, does that mean it's going to be club? Oh my god, it's freaking club. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's freaking club. I predicted it before it came out. I'm not going to lie. Club isn't horrible. I don't mind club. I definitely prefer club over Oregon. But man, this really is truly an R6 map. This is like one of the top ones that usually gets picked quite often. Oregon, Cafe, Club. I feel like those are the most, I would say the most picked. At least for 3.
Yeah, I mean this one's been in the map phase and the map rotation for the longest time. I mean, actually, I think it's been in there the longest since CAF got it after CAF like, having its rework. I mean, Clubhouse, it is a map that realistically, if you are a competitive team, you should not be playing competitive if you can't play on this map. We're going to jump right into it as soon as we can. But like I say, this is a map that the defaults matter, the basics matter, and if you are not able to do that, there is something fundamentally that you need to look at with the rest of your team, and it makes a lot of sense that teams would like to go here. It's the first Playday, they're being streamed, they don't really want to give anything away, so they're going to go to one of the default maps, just play it properly, hopefully get a win under their belts, and then maybe bring out some of those pocket maps a bit further in the future, then try and catch people off guard with it. Right now, just focus on getting that first win.
And with that, we will be making our way into the game. We get to see what bands are going to be coming on the board with the boys on I'm Not Weebs versus, or We're Not Weebs, sorry, versus Moses and the Disciples. I like that name. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And as we do jump in, like you say, we'll take a look at Clubhouse, and like you say, it's a map that its concept has been in since the very start of Siege, alongside Kaf Dostoevsky, alongside House, alongside, I believe it was Villa, not Villa actually, alongside those kind of maps in general. But when you take a look at it, like you say, it's a very basic map in terms of it's very simple. You need to make sure that you can do these basics, flank watches, cameras, coordination on attacks. If that is not there, you will not succeed. The first operator band going to come out is Hibana at the moment. I think you mentioned it last time as well. Hibana is an operator that can have a massive impact. And when you think about those hatches, you really start to understand why. On a bottom floor site, those hatches are vital. And with 3 hatches to try and get control of, as well as the potential of getting that dirt side open as well, or that triple wall, there's a lot of work that only Hibana can really do. Now left on the board, you've only got the Ace, you've only got the Thermite, and then secondary hard breach gadgets in pocket as well. So that's a lot more difficult with Hibana taken away. You expect to see a Maverick based off that pick now. With that Buck being taken away as well, it's a lot of the verticality is gone, but since they brought Ram into that operator pool, it's not as big of a problem as you might think. Only real caveat to that is Buck has the ability to shoot upwards, so a lot of that upwards verticality has now been taken off the board.
I'm surprised that there's not a Monty ban. I'm gonna assume this is gonna be a zombie. I would hope that it's gonna be a zombie. I mean, they are defending first. Okay, it's gonna be a Fenrir instead. I'm surprised for the mute, and I'm surprised for the buck. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not Weebs is deciding that they're gonna play Monty, which is why they didn't opt to ban for him. But I feel like just this map, I feel like goes without saying that okay, no, they will be playing Monty. So that makes sense. That makes sense. But I feel like a Hibana ban 100%. A Monty ban 100% and a zombie ban 100%. That's just what I think. We do see the Habana. Fenrir isn't a bad option, but I would definitely take a zombie ban over a mute ban.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
But again, that's just me. Regardless, though, we are going to be going gym first, and this is my first time ever getting to see these teams play, so I'm going to be excited for their play style and getting to see how comfortable they are with the game.
Yeah, so it looks kind of like a very typical setup with this defensive lineup. They've got the mirror window, the Solace, they've got the Wamai, basically just to make life as difficult as possible for the defense for the attacking lineup. That mute ban is coming in massively because there's a lot of areas that they need to just deny utility coming through. For example, that construction wall, the construction door, the lodging wall where the mirror window is going to go down, the main breach as well, where you can see those bandit charges are now going through instead. The Solace going down below, that's going to be to deny these plans. It's going to be what we wanted to see on the side of bank, but didn't really get to see much of. So going down, this I'm expected to see quite default. We're going to see a player in that bathroom with the mirror window. We're going to see a player trying to hold out that lodgy area, and in doing so, the attackers are going to have to deal with a tiered defense. Every step that no Weebs takes, they're going to have to fight for. That cache is pretty much fully reinforced. That's utility to get through there. That's time they've got to waste. Then they move to construction. That's a mirror window they've got to deal with, and another doorway into that bedroom that they have to take control of. Basically, it's all about time. If they're able to take Logi, then they need to worry all the way about that main breach and that main hallway. There's so much that the defenders can do here just to waste utility, waste time, and most importantly, put no Weebs in very difficult situations on the attack. That's why a lot of teams do prefer this. In the cast barricades, they just kind of bring it down even more. Slate, though, is going to be the first one to find a pick. Takes away that lion, and it gives a lot more freedom of movement for the rest of the defenses.
Seems like there's going to be a bit of a is the word congestion? Maybe contesting. There we go. Contesting. Coming in, the Monty's going to start making his way through Cash, putting Grub in a cheeky situation, but never mind. Whoa. An eye for an eye. Grub will take down one. Is going to get taken down by the Mr. Minecrafter, the John Crafter. A minute 40 and a Pokeball nearly takes him out. He's going to smash that mirror window and he's going to pistol whip it out, but Mod D is going to take him down. Anyways, that Vector is going to do some talking. A 2v3, not Weebs. Equalizes it out as Mr. Dem. He is a beautiful gem. With that beautiful loyalty skin, I have to bring it up every time. The best skin in the game. I think it's so beautiful, but I digress. Is going to take down that mirror, holding onto Logi. So now it is equalized out, a 2v2, as Arndale and Slate are left against Mr. Comrade and Dem. Just a minute about, and it seems like hopefully Ash is going to start making some way for Thermite. Start pushing in. I mean, where are your drones right now, guys? There we go. As they're starting to drone things out, we start making some money moves as they move out of Cash into Con. And with that, Slate will take down Dem. It's going to be a 1v2. Can Comrade clutch it out a 1v2? This is what we saw the first game, or the first round last time. Hopefully we'll see it again. Comrade to take down Arndale, and from behind the mattress, Slate just narrowly misses Comrade under 30 seconds remaining. They got that SMG-11 out. Comrade does also have the bomb, but Slate is also soulless, of course. He's going to be very careful. Not only that, but there is very limited time left remaining on the board. He's going to have to start doing something. It seems like he's going to be planting behind this mattress. Soulless, well, I would hope here, and as she does, she is starting to sprint towards. She's not going to sprint there, though. Coming in through the washroom, maybe he predicted that he'd come in through those doors, and he was right. Coming into that washroom was a good prediction. Of course, Mr. Comrade will not get that kill, and the Soulless will get that bomb diffused. And with that, the boys on Moses and the Disciples will win that out. Beautifully done. Ash putting Grub in a
Yeah, very, very tight gunfight at the end in that 1 versus 1 to try and push things forward. But I've got a massive thing to talk about, and I think it's just that Monty getting so aggressive. We took control of Cash. That was beautifully done. Yes, they lost the IQ, but immediately John Crafter was able to get that control again, take down that 1Y, and just start pushing forward. They take control of Logic. Monty has such a huge opportunity in this situation. They take down that mirror window and are able to block it off. This means that, like I said, the attackers have to deal with this somehow. This is how they deal with it. They have the Monty can call the information, the players can cross and look towards that master bedroom door. That's something that just hasn't happened. And as a result, when we see John Crafter try and take the gunfight and dies, suddenly that position for a defender becomes tenable again, and they're able to retake it. Coming down to that 1 versus 1, I mean, that should have been over as soon as those 2 players were left alive in construction. As soon as we see the Ash get taken off the board, because it had no utility, they had to force through. Then suddenly Thy Comrade, able to move in, has to try and take a gunfight, and all it needed was Slate to be looking at main stairs as well. 2 players looking would have made sure that life would be horrible and they would take out that thermite. That isn't what happened though. And we did the 1 versus 1 like we see. Now a very aggressive small peek from Gurv. Not going to be able to find anything, but certainly gives information to the attackers. They know where these roamers are, or at least some of them, and they know exactly where they need to clear. They're going to start from the top of that site, Monty leading things off, as a util and flank cameras will get put in place. Something I really need to see from this attacking side if they want to show that they deserve the win.
I wonder why he's decided to go up all the way on top of rafters. I feel like it might be a little bit counterproductive to have to make your way all around the entire map just to find out that's in the basement. Maybe he's trying to locate Mr. Gurv, but I feel like the Monty solo doing that isn't the best option, considering that it is going to be an Oryx. As he shoots that cam, Oryx might be putting a cheeky situation. Gurv, though, absolutely no sweat off his shoulders, except for about 95% of his HP. He gets taken down, and as I'm speaking, these fuse bombs are gonna go out. And with that, Dan is gonna take down Gurv for that refrag. That Oryx, that roamer is off the board, and we equalize the score to a 4v4 as we start to enter a minute 45 remaining in the round.
Yeah, being able to take down Gurv, massive. In fact, the amount of damage that Monty was able to do is so incredible. Then that means it was a very simple task for Dan to go through and then clear. Now you're seeing a lot of these Grim Bees, they are coming out over towards that blue side, trying to stop any rotations come through, give the attackers a lot of freedom of movement. Half the round is still left on the board, and all those bees are used, which they do have a time limit on. They do expire. It might be worth waiting and saving them. But that's not really a choice that no Weebs have at this point. Moses going to be watching this hatch for the drop, aware that if they do try and push down below, then they are going to get caught from not 1 but 2 angles. Aware that they can't get right up against it. They can't try and C4 that because the verticality will get them murdered, which means they just need to lie in wait, ready for any push that comes through. Dan gonna spot the gun of the first player on Slate, gets 1, make that 2, finding a third, and with 50 seconds left, the line scan goes off and the players push in.
Oh my god, Dan on a quad, and he just needs 1 more kill to get an absolute ace. A 4v1 turns to a 2v1 as Mod D seems to have that dog in him. Sitting behind that, oh my god, what is that? That little shelf, Tim. Oh my god, I stumbled on my words and I missed that final bit of the round. He was cheekily behind that shelf. Unfortunately, though, Dem is going to take him down swiftly and gracefully. Damn, that was almost a clutch up from him. Had that been a 1v1, I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my marbles. Madi seems to have what it takes, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. With that, the boys on Not Weebs are going to win out that second round. These rounds seem to be, getting down to the wire. It seems to be quite close.
Yeah, it's been happening quite a bit. I mean, they're doing a lot better than what we saw from the last game, where they weren't, Eva Connections weren't really able to get around on until that penultimate one. But looking at that bottom floor, it's got to be all the way down to Dan, able to just start moving in, find these players and pick them apart one by one. On the defense, here's what we've got to see. We've got to see a little bit more coordination. They had really good positions to watch this drop from Hatch, but they weren't ready for a push over towards Toronto. The one player that was looking to contest it got a little bit aggressive, and suddenly that's when everything opened up, and the attackers were able to just snowball through. Dan with that R4C, proving that they are the player to make that happen, certainly. And they are going to head to that bottom floor again. Gurv, switching off of that Oryx, I feel like that's the right play. Arendel's going to move on to it instead. hopefully going to play it a little bit more passively. They have that Oryx, like you say, able to deal with a Monty if John Crafter does try and go ahead again in Logi. But more importantly, there's that rotation potential. They can go up those hatches as well. It's going to be Slate looking for his spawn peak here. Oh no, Bianca, they're able to find the 0. Takes away thy comrade, gets another as John pushes in. The attack's already falling apart as Dan gets taken down as well.
Oh my gosh, not Weebs are looking like they don't have any eyes or any ears. They thought he went down, but he most definitely did not. That's going to be a 3-piece for Mr. Slate, 6-1 right now. I was talking about the fact that Mod had that dog in him, but it seems like Slate is a little bit more of a scary foe to be up against. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness gracious. It's a 2v5. It wasn't even a minute in the round. It probably wasn't even a minute and a half into the round as everybody was just running out of spawn. With that, Buster Cheeks is gonna have to make some moves. With that, he's gonna take down Gurb. Somebody does run out to try and catch him lacking. Unfortunately, he won't be able to finish them off. It is a 2v4, and Dem is sitting here like a beautiful, cute little duck waiting for somebody to fall into his hand. With that, a minute 40 remain in the round, and Moses and his disciples have a great advantage.
Yeah, they really do. And looking at this situation, playing over towards main stairs, having the Valve cameras again, still 2 C4s in pocket as well. They can really take advantage of this verticality, and half the round left. Time being the 6th defender. Well, if you look at that scoreline, that makes it a 2 versus 5, which is a really difficult situation to be in as the attacker, let alone a Kali. You've questioned it a little bit, and a Kali can have its benefits, it can have its uses. But right now, about to peek these main stairs from bathroom, this isn't going to be one of them. Arendelle with that T5 SMG should win it. And as they do push through, the damage comes through. Slate will get felled. But with a minute left on the clock, retreating all the way to Strip Club, and Buster Cheeks with the Boss GA clock, you've got to point it out. It's going to have to look at pushing side all alone, Bianca.
Yep, it is not looking too good at all. Time is running out, and these boys are getting pushed into corners. Arendelle might, I was going to say he might just hit Buster Cheeks from his back cheeks, but it seems like he's going to be waiting over here by Oil instead. 35 seconds, and Callie, where are you, my love? Come on, girl, flank it out right now. They need you. Your teammate needs you so bad. Buster Cheeks want to bust some cheeks, but he doesn't seem like he's going to just yet. Dem in a cheeky bit of a situation. Buster can, I was going to say he can sandwich him out, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be necessary. Mod is going to take down not one, but both. Oh my gosh, get this man off this vector. He's absolutely crushing the competition. And with that, M&D are going to win that out. The third round, it seems like these rounds get kind of close, but eventually there is a clear and concise winner. The beginning of that round was, you know, the icing on the cake. That was definitely hard to come back from, and I feel like if not Weebs did it, I would have absolutely lost it. But I feel like just that, you know, single advantage that Slate had given his team really helped out immensely, more than what we can just see. I feel like that was a lot more pivotal than just, you know, getting 3 kills.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at the operators that were taken off the board. I mean, it's the 0, it's the Monty, it's Yash. I mean, your top fragger as well by Dan was taken off the board so quickly. There wasn't really an answer that the attackers had. Yes, a refrag did come through, but it just didn't have any impact, really. I mean, you look at that and it wasn't the way to come. Yeah, you get a kill. Yeah, you're able to take a player off the board, but at that point, that round's already lost. You're already split apart. You're already really stuck on what you want to do for time. And eventually, I mean, just the amount of time it took for No Weebs to kind of get it back together, it took so much time. They were down to the last 20 seconds making that push. Yes, a kill did come through in favor of the attackers, but it just wasn't. It was too little, too late, really. Now, though, they're going to be looking at this round again, going back to that gym bedroom, which is one that they did win. Or they weren't able to win, sorry, if you remember correctly. The plank came through on that exact ping you're looking at, which is exactly why Slate is asking for that verticality to be made on there. They're going to be playing down below with that pulse, so wanting to make sure that if a plant does go down, rather than what they did do with Solace, which was not go down below to stop the plant, they're able to deal with it. Right now, the rotate will come through. They'll look to push through over towards that gym bedroom side, and a very aggressive push.
Dan absolutely not wanting to waste any time. You said he was the man. Okay, hold on. Why does Ash have diffuser? Hold on, so Ash runs up main stairs with
A bomb has
Diffuser?
been located.
I mean, they gets a kill, but why? What? I don't even know what the reason, what the purpose for that was. As I say that, the monster's gonna get taken down, but it is gonna be a refrag. So we are looking at a 3v3. These boys are gonna have to try and grab that diffuser or get enough kills to win out the round. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Paul's being cheeky. Oh my gosh, this boy better be careful before he gets C4'd from below. And hopefully we'll take a little bit of time to start scoping out the area and figure out what the plan is next for the boys on Not Weebs. But as I'm speaking, Slate taking down Buster Cheeks, a 2v3, a minute and a half.
Very strong position towards Lucky. The Jonas team come through. Like you say, really, that Ash with that diffuser going down has just made a whole new mission for the side of No Weebs. They need to get down below. They need to get that diffuser back up, and then they need to get the execute on the side. Well, Slate is there to make sure that doesn't happen with that C4 going off down below. Now, DMG is going up against Moses, who seem to have divine intervention. But to win this round, they're going to need a gift from God. And it looks like right now they're not going to cash that one in. They're just going to wait, talk about what happened, talk about why the diffuser went up those main stairs, and just start moving on. Well, now they're going to try and give it a go. There's not really much else to do in this round. Players from down below, the Pulse Graduates, have been doing absolute bits to keep this round, and DMG realizing they really don't want to push. They don't want to go any further, because the player over the walls, Logic, the player over the walls, Jim Bidroom, they know exactly where this line is, and they are going to strike with 30 seconds left. The pre-fire does come out. It doesn't find its mark.
It's looking a little bit unfortunate for Mr. Dem. I believe he was one of the last ones to be alive that first round. Unfortunately, actually not unfortunately, but a flash is going to come out. He's not even going to run towards it to kind of maybe smack the mirror at all. He's just going to run thinking that he flashed the mirror. And with that, that will be the round to close out that fourth round. Moses and his disciples seem to be playing this quite well, and with that, they will lead 3-1. And we will also be going Cash and CC. I feel like this is such a no man's land site. Even when I used to cast on console, it was always like basement, then gym, and then at the end, it would go Cash and CC. Cash is like such. It's such a no, don't go here. I feel like because it's very easy to attack, right?
I mean, yeah, it's one of those that's got a lot easier. Defenders really don't like picking this side, purely because that breach can get opened up a lot more since that 20-second meta was taken out of the game, which has been a while ago. So a lot of teams should still be able to play this site with the new kind of setup. The 20-second meta.
What is that?
So essentially, this is when this site was the strongest. So much utility had to be cleared, so much time had to be wasted just dealing with everything. And there was a rigid checklist on pretty much every map on every site on what you had to do to get onto, to get onto the site, get into the execute. And it roughly gave you about 20 seconds to execute onto that site. That's gone now, and that's been gone for a while. And what that means is, with the attack now, but attackers will look to get a breach on that main breach open, and then they'll look to go one of two ways. They'll either go towards that construction side, where Moses is right now, trying to lead his disciples to that victory, or they'll head towards Rafters, which is a very difficult thing to do. And without that, Monty is going to be even tougher, because that Monty is purpose-built for taking control of that Rafters, which is something that they're not going to be able to do. For example, John Crafter now going into that Sophia will be looking to take advantage. But that breach does get opened up, just like that checklist says, Bianca. And now the attackers will have to start deciding whether they want to go to construction or the garage.
You're absolutely right. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like having a Monty being able to be played and not utilizing him, especially when you are pushing Cash, I feel like it's just a complete waste. Curve. Oh my god. Head tap onto John, and Mod will take down Dan. Those are some pretty big players on the side of Not Weebs. I'm not sure why we didn't bring a Monty. Maybe a Monty might have not changed too much, but regardless, doesn't seem like it's looking too good for the boys on Not Weebs. A 2v5, and I'm a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I love seeing, you know, the defense and the attack of CC and Cash, but it just, this is lackluster. I'm Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed. I wish that I would have seen a little bit more of an effort. I mean, not that the boys on Not Weebs aren't trying, but I feel like a lot more could have been done to secure a lot tighter of a round. But still a minute 20 remain. The Boss G could be detrimental. Who knows? With that, though, Dem and Buster are alive against the entire stack of Moses and his disciples. A minute just over remains. And with that, Mod to finish it out, a 1v5.
Yeah, looking at this now, Dem sat on that rappel, is able to find another kill and will do some damage to Slate, but isn't able to find that kill. Like you say, this round's pretty much over. I mean, they really struggled taking control of that garage, like you said. I mean, the Monty was on the board. They brought it in the first 2 rounds. And the first couple of rounds of attack, I don't see why they wouldn't bring it this time, but you know what, that's not for me to question. I feel like they should have, but we're going to move forward on this one. Right now, Dem is in a very difficult situation. They have to push all the way over towards that site, get that plant down, and get full kills as well to boot. The construction site isn't open in any way whatsoever, because you can see that they use their utility by garage. And by doing that, yes, they can use those angles very well if they had them. Right now, though, they're going to have to do a raw push into 4 defenders who are going to be waiting for them. Impacts will go out. The Pokeball lands, does damage. The second one's not able to follow, but then there's 2 defenders able to do exactly that. The swing comes out, the knife follows from Moses, and the Capcan closes out that round in a very confident fashion to give us that, I believe, 4-1 scoreline.
Yep, and I'm not gonna lie, that's quite unfortunate. Because I'm not even sure if Not Weebs are taking a look at the who the defenders are that Moses and his disciples are playing, because not a single bit of wall denial was used on their team, not even a mute. So I'm not sure why we're bringing Thatcher. I'm almost positive that Sledge has the same gun, along with the Flores has the same gun as Thatcher. Flores is infinitely more useful. I mean, Mute is even off the board. Flores is infinitely more useful than, than a Thatcher in this situation, considering that there's absolutely no wall denial to begin with. And on top of that, I mean, a Sledge. We could bring a Sledge. Why not? Again, it's more useful. You can get hatches, you can get soft walls. What was the purpose of bringing a Thatcher when there's no type of denial at all? We don't have a bandit. Muta's off the board. It's not like they brought a Kaid. I honestly felt no purpose, and if it, came down to, maybe you just want to specifically play the gun, then there are other operators with those guns that their utility or just their, their single ability is a lot more impactful than Rita Thatcher. But I digress. We're making our way on to the 6th round. This is where Moses will split the Red Sea, aka splitting this round out, and it will bring us to the halftime show, bring us to half in the game. And with that, we are going to be seeing the boys on M&D going back downstairs, but not before Dan takes down Gurv, an early 5v4.
Yeah, very strong entry, taking down that Oryx, that roaming potential, that freedom of movement. That's something that they are able to just rip off the board straight away. And in doing so, well, they've got that player advantage. That's something they can live with. And that Twitch of Buster Cheeks will lose their first scan. But it's going to be Dan who falls. And Moses, Capcan Trap, something that all these attackers have to be constantly aware of, especially down in these last 20 seconds, making sure that when the pressure's on, they are aware of every possible thing that could go wrong and how they're going to respond to it, and making sure they have the know-how how to as well. A minute to get down to 4 versus 4, not the end of the world, but that Maverick is coming out like you see, opening up onto dirt. The attackers need to get control of this blue area or this main stairs hallway. Anything else, and they are going to struggle when it comes to the execute. So they need one of those two. Right now it looks like they might be going for that main stairs, but they haven't really committed. But oh, there we go. John Crafter looking towards that blue side. Has to be aware that Mod D is going to be looking over there. And maybe a little bit of smokes coming out from Buster Cheeks might come through massively.
Yeah, I'm also thinking, where's the hard breach charges? We are going basement in Clubhouse, and we're gonna bring a single Maverick. I feel like I'm being I feel like I'm saying this such an aggressive tone. I'm really not, but I just find it so odd that we're not gonna use a Monty to push CC and Cash. We're gonna bring a Thatcher, of all things, and then on top of that, we're not gonna bring any hard breach charges. I know they have a Kaid, but I mean, y'all brought Thatcher last game, or y'all brought Thatcher last round. Why don't we just bring it this round too? Anyways, Moving forward, Arndale is going to take down Comrade at 2v4. Busted Cheeks and Dem yet again. It's going to have to be a clutch one from the boys on Not Weebs, as they're going to have to win out this round, even though they have a player, not even just one player, a two-player deficit. Here, C4 get thrown. Busted Cheeks with the F2 is going to take down Moses. And a 2v3 is on the way. It's not looking horrible. It would be nice to see, to see Split go 2-4, but as I say that, Mod is going to take down Busted Cheeks, and Dem is left in a 1v3. Very low HP. He's got one flash left, and it doesn't seem very likely he will win this out. Unfortunately, he won't. And MOD, Mr. Mod himself, will be again I'm going to call this guy the Vector Connoisseur, because I've seen this guy absolutely slay with this Vector. He's been doing great with that. He'll close out Split. That was Split, right? Yes, it was. And the score will be 5-1. Now we will see the boys on Not Weebs defend instead. In the first round after Split will be Gym and Bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost exactly what we saw before. We saw some really good things coming out from the team that is struggling. But I mean, right, okay, that...
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as
It's not a great spot to be in. You can't deny that. Nobody can look at a 5-1 scoreline and say that's where we want to be. But you can't count yourself out of it just yet. No, Weebs have had some good opportunities. They've had some really, really good rounds at some points in terms of positioning and everything. But it's got to be down to the gun skill, where I really stream that they fail. They know what they want to do. They know where they kind of need to be apart from one or two things. But the big problem, again, is where we're just seeing these players starting to not really perform round-wise. So look, you look overwards at No Weebs. Dan is that main fragger for themselves, backed up by Dem just a bit, being able to catch up a bit. Oh, realistically, getting 7 kills on your own, and your team's struggling to keep pace with that, is something rough. If you look at the flip side, though, Moses and the Disciples, they're all pretty consistent. You got 2 players on 19 kills total, and that's something that is really going to put the hurting on them. Now on the defense, No Weebs have an opportunity to try and bring it back. Trying to get an early pick, but not going to be able to make it happen. And they'll start to push through, which means Dem needs to back off. The rest of your defenders need to get away from this situation, purely because if they get picked off here, there's no refrag opportunity. There's no potential to get anything more out of that engagement, so they need to be careful. Time tick it down, nobody to fall just yet, and the attackers will start to make their way into sight. Start to looking over towards that main breach, but it's going to be Dan waiting, Bianca.
It seems like the boys on Not Weebs are quite more aggressive when it comes to defending versus attacking. I feel like I'm seeing a little, a surge of energy coming through them as 2 people who are trying to spawn peek. With that, though, it seems like 2 players on M&D are going to be moving their way through rafters. Their way through CC and Cash as well. They do yellow ping. I believe that was the Alabibi. And they're going to be trying to sandwich her out, trying to clear her out as soon as possible. Dan the Man also here doing his best. Busta is going to take down Gerv and Slade. Those are 2 incredible kills. Slade being the hard breach, and honestly just an amazing player for the boys on M&D. All that's left is to get rid of Mod. He has been an absolute thorn in the side of Not Weebs. A minute 20 remain, and it looks like Not Weebs are going to be having a bit of an advantage. I hope they can keep it for the rest of this round.
Yeah, M&D, where is that player sat over towards that radio window looking for the cutoff, looking to see if they could just put some pressure on the players that are trying to get aggressive. I mean, there was no contestion there. They were able to just let those construction players stay alive, go for the peaks, and most importantly, confident take gunfights. Mod, like you say, has to be taken off. Is that 10-kill player now onto 11? We'll look for another one. We'll get it! A beautiful pixel onto thy comrade. Look towards Logi, looks for the 3rd and closes it down. And suddenly M&D are back in the game with only 40 seconds left, Bianca.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Mod, finally, his tyranny comes to an end as Busta Cheeks is going to take him down. 30 seconds remain. It's up to Moses and Arndale, his single disciple left out of the 4. It's going to be Dokkaebi by his side. Busta Cheeks along with Dem. It seems like Dem is usually alive for these final situations out of every single one of these rounds, and time ticks and ticks and ticks and ticks. A 2v2, and the pressure is on both of these teams. It's coming down to the wire. Moses is gonna get knifed as the boys on Moses' team did to Weebs. Weebs will do onto them. It is the golden rule. And with that, the knife will finish off the first round after a split, bringing the score to 2-5. I'm glad we aren't going to see this team get Braziled. They aren't out just yet, and seems like they did almost stumble a little bit. Mod is an absolute menace and needs to be dealt with immediately, but thankfully enough, Weebs will win that out.
Like I said, though, I mean, Mod
locate and defuse
it's got to get shut down at some point by no Weebs. This is a player that has stepped up in a massive way multiple times. As well as that, you have Slate, who can pick up that slack when Mod isn't there. And that's something we just weren't seeing for the side of no Weebs. Buster Cheeks, though, a beautiful round out from them to really close things down. But like you say, it was a little bit too close on that one. We saw these attackers start to get a little bit of momentum back when early on these gunfights went in favor of the defense. Realistically, looking at this, going down to the bottom floor, I expect to see MD do a very, very fast roam clear, commit Slate to it, and maybe Arendelle as well. If Slate spots somebody, they'll get the scanner, the line scan goes off, and they'll cut off that player and try and take them off the board. And now, look towards that bottom floor, the fuse is taken away, but Mod still has those Incandelas, so while they lose in explosive capabilities, they keep in their utility. These flashbangs can cause so many problems for a defensive lineup, especially ones without a Warden, Kwamai, or Jaeger on their lineup. That execute can go absolutely hard. Grim, though, Moses is somebody that will pay for getting that knife kill in that last round, as they're taken off the board so quickly.
Unfortunately, yep, like you said, he is down, and it's up to his disciples to clean out this round on behalf of him, since he is no longer alive. Dan roaming around, he's gonna knife out that music, it's way too loud, get it out of my ears. Dan was the one to get that kill, though. I wonder where he's at right now. I honestly wasn't able to see it through the outline, so I'm not too sure. And a Solus, it seems like, is also going to be roaming upstairs. Seems like there's a bit of a heavy roam game. But with that, Arendelle is going to take down one. John Crafter. Oh my gosh. I hate to say this, but 1 and 8. Come on. We got to lock in. Either you got to sit in sight and just play for a body, or just lock in. I mean, he does have 4 assists, so it's not too shabby, but oh man, oh man, oh man. Dan, though, isn't the man. Slate, however, Slate's been absolutely going crazy in this game. Will take him down, and that is going to make the score a 2v4, or a 3v4, sorry. I was going to say, I didn't mean to rhyme there, but unfortunately it didn't even land, and they are going to go down basement. I do realize that they have left that moto hatch open. I'm wondering why. Did we forget to reinforce, or are we just, like, what? Are we lazy? What's going on?
It really should have been done, but in the way things go, it just hasn't been. Right now, though, that means Dem can play very confidently, aware that they can call out a player dropping. In doing so, Buster Cheeks in blue is aware that it can just swing on somebody if somebody goes down there. But the big problem is the attackers have 2 players watching that hatch, 2 players aware. And as Arundel runs down to that main stairs, the drone will go there and get the information. Know that that half wall's been opened, that triple wall's been opened up, and in doing so, aware that if they move down to those main stairs, they have to deal with that player. Mod D will put these Candelas through. The execute with 40 seconds left, Bianca, is going to be electric.
Yes, raining hell from above. These Yings are going to go not just a single flash, a quadruple flash. Arendelle is going to make his way inside. Is this going to be a secret liquid diffuse? Buster's going to take down Madi. Arendelle's going to take down Dem. Shots are firing everywhere. 2v2. The diffuser's starting to get planted. Oh my gosh. Look at all the feet that Slate can sniff out. It's going to be up to Buster Cheeks, who's been doing great these last couple rounds. A 1v2, but it won't matter. M&D will win this attacking round, and they did it quite well. This was a beautiful round played out by them. A Glacier to show off on that final kill cam, and with that, the boys on Moses and his beautiful disciples will win out that round, leaving them at match point. It seems like even though Moses is dead, his disciples can do his bidding for him, and he won't have to worry at all.
Yeah, and while we look at that, I mean, Buster Cheeks down in blue, got to be able to do something more than that. The execute came through, they were playing over towards Oil. They could have put some pressure on and tried to really contest that, but it just didn't come through. In the meantime, that moto drop came through, and with the push from Arendelle, the push down onto blue as well, and the player over towards main stairs really just made for a horrible recipe for the side of No Weebs to take down. This means that Moses and the Disciples are now sat on match point in their very first game in AEL Season 1 Reloaded. The first one we're seeing on the stream. Most importantly here, they are going to be heading to this CCTV cache. This is the site that we said isn't really the one teams like to go to. This is the tertiary site that they've gone to now. But they didn't really do that well when it came to that gym bedroom spot. So I'm not surprised they've gone here. And with the mirror, they can play deep in that cache. They don't need to commit so heavily like we saw the side of M&D do. M&D need to attack this site, sorry. No Weebs, they're going to bring that mirror. Like I said, they don't have to commit so heavily to play in this position. As soon as Buster dies, they can pull back into cache if they want and put those mirror windows up. Because they still haven't put them down. They might actually be trying to mirror trick this one. Moses and the Disciples looking at this site. This is the one they might want to win.
No, I'm surprised that they didn't even get the bottom of garage. Did you see that? All 4 walls were not reinforced either. I feel like that's a standard. I feel like usually they're all reinforced, but apparently not. Afraid not. What do you think about that? What's your opinion on that as this round progresses?
It's going to be a lot easier for these attackers to take control of rafters. They can spot players trying to escape, heading into windows. But right now, what we got to talk about is this Maverick on that breach. That Mirror or Bandit, neither one of them really matters when it comes down to taking care of this utility, because you cannot stop a Maverick blowtorch. And it is going to be Slate and Gurf to find those first couple of picks. That wall will get opened up. And now the attackers just need to turn their attention to one of those key pressure positions that I spoke about, whether it be garage or construction. They need to have someone on the breach and somebody ready to plant, but then all the rest of them, the other 3 players, need to be ready for this execute. That breach will get opened up now, though, Bianca, and this damage does go through. It looks like M&D is starting to get ready for this push.
A minute 35 remaining in the round, a 3v5, and it's going to be in the favor of the boys on Moses and his Disciples. Like you said, that wall is going to be opened up, and it's going to be harder and harder for these boys on the defense to defend for as long as they possibly can. It seems like somebody is going to be rafters, but they absolutely know he's there, and they're going to scope him out as best as they possibly can. That MP7, can John get a second kill, please? In 9 rounds, we need you to lock in. The MPX is a pea shooter, but if you can hit ahead, you can hit ahead. Arndale on his absolute last stretch of health, and with just under a minute clocking in, another side of that wall is going to get opened up. Wait, that wall wasn't opened up. It literally looked like it was, but anyways, moving forward, the wall will get opened up now, leaving John in a very tight situation, considering that they might just get sandwiched from wall and from the bottom of garage. Seems like Dem, though, is going to try and help him out as best as he possibly can, dropping down into oil, maybe a little bit of a flank from blue. 30 seconds, and it is not looking too good. Slate, though, is gonna wait for him to come out. This might just be the final supper, but not before a little bit of retaliance. Oh, is the word retaliance? I hope so. Mod D is gonna take down a comrade and a 2v3. 10 seconds remaining. Moses and his Disciples. Moses still alive, the man of the match. Well, the man of his team, as his name states it all. John Crafter and Dem left, not only to kill 3 opponents, but to also get this diffuser. Not to get this diffuser, trying to get this diffuser diffused. And Ma D, though, will take down John Crafter. This is looking like the final supper, the final round. Unfortunately, that little Maverick hole is going to be detrimental. Let's scare him a little bit. And Slate will finish off the round, taking him out from construction. And with that, the boys on Moses and his Disciples will win that out. Well played.
Yeah, very good game for both teams there. I feel like, again, not Weebs, it played very well. There was just really good opportunities that just didn't come to fruition. Yeah, they got another round than we saw Evil Connections do, but looking towards that game, they played very well. They were really strong. It's just little moments that we're seeing M&D really start to step up. It's these little close clutch plays. It's when we're seeing the little things like the micro positioning stepping in again. At the end of that round, though, really happy with how that executed. I mean, that breach got opened up. Like you say, there's a lot really that not Weebs should be taking a look at. That bottom breach, whether they're playing, how they're playing that garage as well. That mirror was stuck in such a difficult situation. Is how they're going to improve on that moving forward. Granted, they were able to lose that. They lost that 7-2, but there's a lot of work to be done, so they really cannot let that get them down. Just hold your head high and move forward. But Bianca, what have you been thinking about this game so far? How do you feel it's gone?
Well, this is my first time watching both of these teams play, so you know what? I'm quite surprised. I'm quite happy, although I felt like Not Weebs could have definitely won out a lot of more rounds. Sometimes they get quite close, and I mean, it's only the first time that I've watched them. So, of course, the more that I watch them, the more that I'm able to cast them, the more that I'll be able to see truly what type of players they are. With that, though, congratulations to Moses and his wonderful four disciples for winning it out. They seem to had the upper edge on the team just in general. I feel like they definitely played extremely coordinated and they just knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they're purely pleased moving in, taking that victory. And that is both of the games that we've seen today from both of our two conferences. The Commando Conference, where we saw the first game of Outlast Black and Evil Connections Academy, which was won by Outlast Black. And the second game in our Rangers Conference, which was the Not Weebs versus Moses and the Disciples. Coming up, we do have a lot more games coming for you, but not today, so you do have to stay tuned on the socials. AEL Season 1 is back, bigger, better than ever. You really don't want to miss it, so check us out on Twitter, check us out on the Discord as well, because if you want to get involved, there's only one way how, and that is by making sure you are there. We are going to be heading out for this evening, so a huge shout out to Bianca for joining me today, and Kylo on the production, as well as Unnamed Gamer on the observing. My name's Ben McCready. I hope you have a wonderful night, and goodbye.
Bye guys. Love y'all. See y'all again.